Show. Keeping your money safe and secure. Giving you predictability. Have the retirement you deserve with our Safe Money strategy. All the financial news you need. We're here to help you succeed on your Safe Money Show.
Welcome to your Safe Money Show. I'm Todd Schoberg, your host. This show is where we help seniors live happier, healthier lives through the power of knowledge. I'm really kind of fancy today. I know. I feel like I'm formal. We're going to talk about we'll talk about financial things or anything else that I feel is important to our retiree people in our area. And today I've kind of changed it up a little bit, but I want Tony to come on and tell me everything he knows because he's our friendly host, and I'm not talking ghost.
I'm the co-host. You're the host.
I had that all down pat that I wanted to refer to the Halloween coming up.
Yeah, I like it.
Friendly co-host. There we
go. Not a ghost, but the friendly co-host. Well,
that's right.
I'll tell you what, Todd, I'm doing great. And boy, me imparting my knowledge, that would be a quick show. I'll tell you that. If we're going to fill a half hour, you're going to have to jump in because you're the brains of the operation. I'm just the eye candy. I've said that before. I'll say it again, Todd.
And continue to say it and continue to say it.
Our listeners know. Our listeners know. That's good. And this is going to be a great show. We're talking about health literacy for seniors. I can't wait to jump into that. And you've helped so many people with this and so many other issues in the community here. I think it's great, and wanted to just shout out to all our regular listeners. You've got a lot of them around town and in the surrounding area, Todd, and I know you love to hear from people. So I want to encourage our listeners out there, pick up the phone, give Todd a call, set up a consultation. I don't know, you might be a few weeks out right now. You're pretty busy, aren't you?
Yeah, I think I just talked to Katie today, and she's out with our Medicare, except for some exclusive openings. We're out into December 4th or 5th.
Wow.
And we're running now. She just asked if I can come in at 8 in the morning and start appointments right at 8. So pretty soon it might be 6 in the morning because my intent is to reach everybody that needs the assistance during open enrollment for Medicare. And I know a lot of people are confused. Tuesday was my start off date. We ended up with quite a few appointments and a lot of confused people because there's a lot of stuff on air about Medicare and the changes and the companies going out of business. And there's just a lot of scared people out there, but you don't have to be. Everything is governed by Medicare. So when they write a policy out, it's contractual law for you. When you understand that policy, it is what it is, and that's why I'm here, and that's why I put so much time and effort into these plans so that you understand what you're purchasing when you purchase it. And I think it's so important because I have a lot of people who says, well, just sign me up for something that I think I need. No, you need to understand, and that's why I wrote the book, Medicare 101. It brings you right through step by step the process of understanding your Medicare, not my Medicare. It's your plan. It's your future. It's your health. And you need to understand it from the beginning to end. And there's a lot to it. A, B, D, C, they're going to probably have up to Z by the time they're done. But right now there's a lot of different parts to Medicare that you need to understand. And that's what I'm doing on a one-to-one basis. There's no charge. There's no obligation. I'm going to show you what I think the plan that is best for you, and we're going to work that through so you know what you're doing. And I know I sound like I'm preaching here because I am. I think it's that important, and I think you need to know that. Yeah. And with that, guess what I had done this week?
What did you have done?
I had a flu shot.
Oh, excellent. Yeah.
And that's why I went into the theme of the show today, which is health literacy for seniors, because I know there's a lot of things out there. And I thought if we brought just a few things that you should know about when you go see a doctor, we could list a few things. So we're going to go through some of those things during the show. Health literacy, what it means. I mean, it really means a lot. And And I'll get to some of that. But when I go to the doctor, I get kind of nervous.
Yeah.
You know, and what do I do about that? And who should I see or who should I talk to about it? So that's what we're going to go through a little bit today.
Yeah, I think that's really important, Todd, and I'm glad we're going to talk about this because I'm the same way, and we need to know. And I think, I saw that now they're offering some COVID shots and flu shots, and I'm like, boy, what do I need to get? What should I do? I always put off scheduling that appointment with the doctor's office, but I have some regular medications and they'll only refill them so many times without a doctor's visit, right? They want to see me again. And I'm like, oh, I got to go in. I don't want to do this. And when am I going to schedule it? And sitting in the waiting room, a lot of people don't like it. We put it off, but that's not good. You got to get it taken care of, don't you?
I always kid the doctor friends I have because they say, well, that must be my annual membership because you make me come in once a year just to renew my prescription. I figure I belong to the club. I have to pay the fee just to see you. But that's my annual membership, not only my annual physical, but my annual membership. So I know it keeps the world going around and it's a good thing for you, but I haven't changed medications in, 5 to 7 years.
Oh, me either. I haven't changed medications in 10 years. Yeah, so it's
but he still wants to see me.
Yep. They want to see me every 6 months. And I'm like, is it for the money?
the membership fee,
yeah, the membership dues. You got to come in. So, I always wonder about that myself. But, I've had a crazy busy week. My wife was out of town for 10 days, but she's back now.
Oh,
and like I said, which is good. No, it's good. So Saturday, I spent the entire day cleaning the house, getting it ready, doing all the things I should have been doing the entire time she was gone. Of course, I put it off to do it in one day, the day before she gets back. But I got all the honey-do list done for the most part, so that was good. And she's back, which is good. The pets are now happy again, and we can all settle down back into our routines.
Coming into fall, calm time of year.
Not for you, not for finances, it's you got Medicare, annual enrollment. You've got people doing tax planning, charitable, donations to charity, maybe Roth conversions for tax purposes. There's so much at the end of the year. And I'm glad we're tackling one, at least we're focusing today on one aspect of that in health, because there's so much going on out there. People are always like, what's going to happen with the markets and what's going on with the tariffs? And there's a lot going on out there, right?
There is. And I actually had a client in on Tuesday that says, I'm done listening to the news. I just get so confused. I don't know who's doing what, why they're doing what, and people are getting hurt, and I'm just done. Which I don't know. You can't bury your head in the sand. You got to be on top of things, and you got to know what's going on. But I get the frustration out there, and health literacy happens to be one of those things we're going to talk about today. That's easy to do. Just listen to what the doctor says and do it, and don't really understand. As I said in Medicare, the same thing. If you don't understand it, how do you know how to use it? And that's what we're going to talk about a little bit about health literacy today and what it means to my seniors. And most of the time here on the show, we talk about finances. And with open enrollment starting this past Wednesday for Medicare, I thought this would be a good time to discuss some health literacy and understand health information so you can make good decisions, whether it's reading a prescription label or talking to your doctor, or knowing when to get a checkup. I think these are things we need to put in the forefront because these are things we need to know.
Right. They are things we need to know. So I really think that this is important. We have to make sure that we understand health literacy, what it means, and this is good. So let's kick things off. What's the biggest health literacy challenge that seniors out there face?
Great question, Tony. One of the biggest challenges, making sense of medical jargon. Words like hypertension and I had this down when I was practicing. It's contradiction, not contradiction, contradiction. all these words are from foreign languages, and they sometimes sound like that, and they're hard for us to understand. Matter of fact, they don't even look like what they mean sometimes.
No. Well, no. I mean, like on the prescription bottles, Todd, you see all those words that I can barely pronounce, and I can't. I can't even say Atavazertan, or I always get that one wrong too, and I don't know what that is. But yeah, I mean the words. It is a challenge. It's contraindication.
There you go. That's
contraindication. Contraindication.
Right. And that means if you take medicine, it can kill you.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't take that medication.
Yeah, you see the ads. They always start off with, may cause restlessness or a rash, and then by the end, or death. The last one's usually death.
Yeah. Let's not start with that.
Yeah. They usually end with that. I always laugh when my favorite now is, it's like a crazy name. It's a very specific medication, and it's some name I've never heard of. And they're like, if you're allergic to, insert the name of the medication, don't take this medication. If you're allergic to this medication, don't take it. Well, you're saying it's a new medication. It's nothing I've ever heard of. How would I know if I'm allergic to it? That's my question.
Well, 1 in a million people had a reaction, so you should know that. Yeah, I know. Health
could be fatal.
Yeah, that's right. Health literacy means able to read and understand and act on health information.
Yeah.
So just for an example, it's on a lot of your medications, take with food.
Yeah.
What does that mean on a medication? Or understanding why your doctor recommends a flu shot. Is it just because it's something to do in the fall, or is there a real reason? Those are things you can ask your doctor and should know about when you're going through that.
Yeah, I mean, it's knowing what to do with that information. It's not just we can all read it, but what do I do with that, right?
Spot on. Let's share a quick tip for our listeners. If your doctor or pharmacist uses a term you don't understand, what do? Just take it? No. You ask them, please, would you explain in plain English what you're having me take and what does it do for me? It's your health, and you have every right to understand what they're putting you on and what the condition is. So you need to ask that up front.
Yeah, I love that. I think we should write that down. Explain that in plain English or plain language so I understand, what I'm taking and what it's doing for me. If they say something you don't understand, question it and they'll explain. Make them explain. They're make them earn their money. I have a lot of friends that are doctors, but I have no problem making them earn stay in here more than 4 minutes or 3 minutes with me. Don't send the nurse back in. I want you to explain this, and they will. But let's do a quick quiz for our listeners. Todd, throw out a medical term and I'll try to guess what it means.
Well, here's one we hear a lot, and that's hypertension. So go for it, Tony.
Oh, is that what I was as a child and they had to medicate me for it? Oh, no, that's hyperactivity. Okay, my poor parents. I'm going to say hypertension means high blood pressure.
You nailed it. Hypertension is just a fancy word for high blood pressure. Most of us over 40 years old have got high blood pressure in the United States, and they call it hypertension.
Yeah.
So it's not as scary as it sounds when you ask those questions to your doctor. They're going to give you a straight answer, and they'll define it for you. I didn't know hypertension was high blood pressure for probably the first 3 years. I thought I was just, you said, I was hypertensive. I
thought it was something else. I thought, I'm too intense, which I've been accused of, Todd. You know that, obviously.
Several times a day.
By many people.
That's right.
Since breakfast, yeah.
But, try it at home. And then next time you're at the doctor, jot one of the new terms you've learned about or wanted about on a piece of paper and ask it what it means. It's like learning a new word a day. How do you keep that brain fresh? Learn something new every day. If it's a word or a subject or location or a new game, whatever it is, you keep that brain active. So that's one way you could do is just ask for one time you see your doctor. What is this or what is that? And I think they'll let you probably ask for more than one.
Right.
They'll give you time. Here's another tip. Keep a small notebook for doctor visits.
Yeah.
Write down what the doctor says or bring a family member to help you take notes. It makes a big difference. I hope what we're talking about here can help you with what I call the white coat syndrome, and it's a real thing. I forget everything I was going to ask the doctor when I'm in the office, and I get back to the car and I remember. My wife has that in effect that her blood pressure will go up probably 40 points, and her heart rate goes up, significantly. So she has to spend a lot of time at the doctor when she's there till she settles down and relaxes. But a lot of people have that, and it affects people in different ways. I've heard it can even raise your blood sugar.
Yeah.
Because, there's a lot of things that go up and down and they measure. So they want to make sure it's a consistent measurement. And if you have that white coat syndrome, for whatever happens, you need to know that. Hey, whatever you're pondering on in retirement, your retirement years, if you're a seasoned retiree or pre-retired, you're just getting into that retirement, I'm here to help. And all you have to do really is, if you have any of those questions, give me a call at 855-22-MONEY. That's 855-226-6690. Oh, and I got that bad. How can I do that, Tony? I have to go back and start that over. I transferred my phone number.
Yeah, don't worry.
So I'm going to go back to
no, just say all you need to do is give me a call at.
Okay. All you need to do is give me a call at 855-22-MONEY. That's 855-226-6639. Or stop in my office at 139 South Union Street.
Wait, stop. Sorry. Is it 39 or 93?
9.
You said 39.
It's 39.
Oh, sorry. I shouldn't have stopped you, but it says 93 in the script.
That's what I said. I wrote it down wrong. I transposed it wrong.
I'm sorry. Start that over again. Give me a call. One more time. Yeah. Andy, I hope you can edit this. So pause and then just start it. Give me a call.
Give me a call at 855-22-MONEY. That's 855-226-6639. Or stop by my office at 139 South Union Street, downtown Mora. And then make sure you listen every Saturday morning at 8 o'clock here on KBEK 95.5. And, you can also go to my website, yoursafemoneyshow.com, to listen to our current or past shows. You can also, on that website, you can get copies of my other retirement publications like Medicare 101 or Insurance Made Easy, and I have many other topics that can help you guide you in your retirement journey.
Yeah, I think that's great. So, we've been talking about healthcare and talking about some of the terminology, what you need to ask the doctor. Don't be worried about it. Don't be afraid to ask. But what about the system overall, navigating the healthcare system? I mean, doctor appointments, insurance, all that paperwork, that can really be overwhelming. So where can our listeners start with that?
Well, I think I harped on that a little bit earlier in the show, but you really need to know your insurance. If you're on Medicare, take time to read what it covers. Things like annual wellness visits, a lot of those are free. You have to follow their rules, but they're free. And if you're looking for information about your policy and you've happened to throw your information away, which a lot of people do, call your agent and he'll have copies for you, the coverage and how it handles it. And if you have questions, again, sit down with him and learn what that policy is. He and I are more than willing to make sure you understand how they work, because if you don't know how they work, you're probably going to miss out on some of the benefits that come with your insurances when you're on Medicare.
Yeah. Well, and that's really important to understand those things. It can be a lot, but, there's things that are, don't cost anything, that are free. That's music to my ears. But what about those forms and bills?
Good point. Here's a tip. Always review your medical bills. Make Mistakes happen. They do all the time, and you don't want to pay for somebody else's mistakes that in a service that you didn't get.
Yeah.
If something looks off, call your provider's billing office and ask for clarification. If you don't feel comfortable with that, another service your agent will do, he'll find that explanation for you, and he'll tell you who to contact to get those things straightened out. But you really need to know what those claims or costs are affecting you, because that's the bottom line. It's going to cost you and me all together if somebody's making those mistakes.
Yeah, that's for sure. That's a really good point. And now, we alluded to this earlier, but what about talking to doctors? I feel a lot of times I feel rushed during appointments with some doctors.
Is that something you sit out in the waiting room? It's like a race. It's about to start, The nurse comes in. Todd, your time. Come on in. Got to get in the room. They take your weight, they take your height, and they put you in this room and you sit there. And then you wait.
Sometimes for a long time.
You do, and you wait, and you wait, and you wait. And all of a sudden he walks in the door. You know he's busy.
Right.
And but you're pacing yourself. You already are hyperventilating because you think, okay, I got to get as many things done.
You've waited a half hour or longer in the waiting room. You've waited a half hour or longer in the actual medical room, and now the doctor's finally there.
Now what? So try this. Before your appointment, write down your top 3 questions or 4 or main concerns that you have. Put it on paper. For example, what is this medication I'm taking for? Are there any side effects? Hand that list to your doctor at the start of the visit.
Yes.
It keeps things focused. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Your doctor is there for you, not vice versa.
Yeah, maybe make a bullet-pointed list of why you're there. Like, this is what's happening. This is what I'm concerned about. But bullet points, so you can that way you won't forget things, because like you said earlier, I'll get home and my wife will always look at me and say, oh, what did he say about this? When you asked him about this, what did he say? Oh, that actually didn't come up. Well, that's the main reason you went. Why wouldn't you bring that up? Well, I asked him about this other thing first, and then we talked about some other things, and that led to these tests. And then I left and I never got to that. So it's like, she always gets after me because I always forget. There's usually, at least as I get older, there's at least 2 things I'm concerned about, or 3. And usually the most important one is the one that I never really asked him that question straight up. She's like, what? So now before I go, I'm like, what are the questions I need that we talked about here, honey? And she'll tell me, make sure you ask him about this, and I'll make notes. And then I can either hand it to him or I just have that. And I go, well, let's see. I wanted to talk to you about this. And then I check it off. There's nothing wrong with doing that. There's no shame in that.
No, absolutely not. And if you're tech savvy, and my son has always told me to use this, and I'm not as tech savvy as other people. But you can go on your portal online. And
yes.
Many doctor offices have them now, and you can see your test results, schedule appointments, or even message your doctor. And that's not a bad place to start, to put your list down so he actually has that before your appointment, because I know they do review their appointments for the following day. They don't just jump in there and see, okay, well, they go through your history a little bit and they see what we issued or what we discussed the last time. Sure. It would be a good place to do that if you're tech savvy. But make sure you write that down for yourself.
Yeah.
So that you can address those issues also with hard written notes.
Yeah. But if you, or maybe somebody, like a grandchild or your son or daughter can help you if you're not tech savvy, because it's really like having a doctor in your pocket. It's really great to go on the app or the My whatever, it's My Health Partners or My Medical app,
I think ours is called My Chart is what ours is.
Yeah, My Chart. Yeah, you can go into My Chart.
Fairview has one, Illini has one.
They all have one,
have one. It's just called something different.
Message your doctor on there. You can do a lot of things. Say, hey, I'm coming in this week and I want to talk about this and this, or I need this. Yeah. And that's really good to do.
So I'm a little slow on the tech thing, and it's been there a while, but I get yelled at from my son who's a nurse. Well, didn't you put it down? No. So I said, this year I'm talking all about my right side. I have a bad hip, a bad knee, and a bad ankle. where do you want to start, doc? So
Yeah.
and you'll say, well, I think if you exercise a little bit more, we'll get that.
Oh, diet and exercise. I don't know why I pay money to the doctor. I know what he's going to say. He's just going to tell me diet and exercise.
That's right.
I'm like, yeah. He's going to look at me and go, you have a weight problem. I'm like, yeah, you don't need 8 years of medical school to tell me that.
No, but Tony, I think we probably should wrap it up. I have some practical tips that can boost your health literacy and stay healthy. I think I want to finish with some of those things. So hopefully I can get through those because we're running out of time. We always run out of time on this show when we have so much more to talk about.
Sure.
So first, stay curious about your health. Read up on your conditions using trusted sources like the National Institute of Aging website or the CDC. Here's the problem. We have too much information at our hands, and a lot of it can be misleading information. So make sure you're using sites that are legal. Probably, I don't know if the other ones aren't legal, but there's a lot of garbage out there.
There is.
That says you take this formula, you mix chalk and mud and put it in and put it on your head and drink 3 quarts of oil and you'll be good for anything. There's a lot of that garbage out there. So make sure you're getting the right sources. I think that's the most important thing.
Yeah.
If you have a question, make sure you got the right sources.
Yeah. I mean, there's sites like WebMD, but the problem there is that's a reputable site. But the problem is you can type in symptoms and you can convince yourself, you can go down rabbit holes even there. And like, according to my symptoms, I have this rare, terrible disease. I'm going to be dead in 2 months. No, you can put in symptoms and it could be, oh my, I have cancer. Well, no, it could be something much more simple. It's just, there's so many possibilities. Eventually you have to go to a doctor
Absolutely. And don't make up things, The doctor's going to tell them, no, your blood's perfect. How can you have that disease? No, you're good.
Exactly.
The other thing you need to do is organize your medications. Use a pill organizer to keep track of what you're taking and when. That's a terrible habit to get into. You need to know what's going on there. My mother was terrible. She'd have a list of medications and she'd say, well, I take this one. That's enough for today.
Yeah. My mother-in-law's the same way.
The next day.
And my dad's the same way. Yeah.
And then once a year, bring all your medications to the pharmacist for a review. They'll check for interactions. My mother did that also. She had a lot of medications. They threw out about half of them. When they did that interaction, she was taking one pill to fix one thing and it affected something else. So that's a good thing, especially as you build a collection of different medications. Make sure they're not harming you. Make sure you check with that.
Yeah. Well, you know what? We're out of time for today's show. It flew by. Just let our listeners know how they can get a hold of you. Let's kind of cap off the show today.
Yeah, really, if you're looking for someone to help you put a comprehensive retirement plan together, pre-retiree, after retiree, if you're just looking for some help, I can do that. But you got to give me a call at 855-22-MONEY. That's 855-226-6639. Go to my website, yoursafemoneyshow.com, or stop in at 139 Union Street, downtown, beautiful Mora. And make sure you stop back here every Saturday at 95.5, 8 o'clock sharp. We'll have some great information for you and many, many other things to come in the future. And like I always tell you, if I can't prove it, don't do it. Have a great weekend.
All right. Well, Todd, a great show, great topic. There's so much more we could have covered, but if people have more questions, again, they can get a hold of you at 855-226-6639. And Todd, great show today. Listeners, thanks for tuning in. That does it for today's episode of Your Safe Money Show with our host, Todd Schoberg.
We're here to help you succeed on Your Safe Money Show.
Your Safe Money Show is brought to you by Schoberg and Holmstrom Financial Services in Mora, Minnesota. The agency is an independently owned and operated and is not affiliated with any other safe money or government agency. call the office at 855-22-MONEY, 855-226-6639 for your no obligation appointment, or visit yoursafemoneyshow.com.